Okay, so we'll work on the, I hope you completed attendance, mark your attendance. We'll work on the next topic, procurement business function options. From the procurement, I'm navigating to procurement foundation, and we are done with this screen discussion. Yesterday also I repeated the screen requisition options. Today we'll discuss purchasing options. Nothing but procurement business function options. I'm selecting the business unit. And here totally 4 sections are there. One is the general section. After that, purchasing section and the consignment terms and sourcing section. Okay. First, we'll discuss the general section. In the general section, so whatever you are entering here, the payment term, ship method, freight term, whatever you are entering here, that is defaulted to your purchase order. And you can change that at the purchase order level. You want to update that at the purchase order level, you can change. Okay. So default payment term for the purchase order. Did we created any? I think yes. Okay, I'm selecting a payment term. And also we created a couple of ship method. I think DHL we created. DHL. Okay, I'm selecting the DHL ship method, and then freight terms. Did we create any freight terms? Let me see. Yeah, we have created one freight term. Okay. And who is the default buyer? Who is the default buyer for the automatically created purchase orders? Suppose if you are creating purchase order manually, you are the buyer. If I am creating the purchase order, I am the buyer. But if the system created purchase order automatically from the requisition, if the system created purchase order automatically from the requisition, then who is the buyer for that purchase order? So we'll enter the default buyer name for the automatic created purchase orders. What is the default delivery organization? What is the default delivery organization? And what is the default line type? What's the default line type? And what's the default currency? And language, preferred language, and default conversion rate type. And you know about these two URLs. One is for the spend authorized, and another one is for the prospective supplier. Okay, you know about these two URLs. Now, whatever I have entered so far here, all those get defaulted to your purchase order. Okay, and this is nothing but default buyer for the automatically created POs. And coming to the next section, purchasing section. Purchasing section. In the first section also, let me explain you. Now we are talking about the today is 20th, right? 20th July. We are talking about the purchasing options. Okay. Under the purchasing options, we'll discuss about the price breakup type, cumulative and non-cumulative. Cumulative and non-cumulative. We'll discuss about this. So before I explain that, I have to explain you first of all, there is something called blanket purchase agreement. This is agreement. This is not an order. Okay. We can create agreements with our suppliers. This is agreement is nothing but understanding between the company and supplier. Okay. So in case of blanket purchase agreement, you can specify, okay, I buy this item. If I buy 100 quantity, what is your price? What is your price? Suppose if I buy 5,000 quantity, what is your price? Okay. If I buy 25,000 quantity, what is the price? In case of bulk purchases, you can have a bulk discount here. Just for 100 quantity, what is the price? 10 rupees. But in case of 25,000, what is the price? 8.5. Okay. So in the agreement, in the blanket purchase agreement, you can create price breakups like this. This is called as a price breakups. This is called price breakups. You can create price breakups like this. And later, when you're placing a purchase order of that agreement. So this is just an agreement. Later, when you're creating a purchase order, by mentioning the agreement number. Suppose, let's take this is your agreement number. When you're creating a purchase order, you're mentioning the agreement number as a reference. Okay. And you can create a PO by mentioning the agreement number. So the price will be defaulted based on the agreement. Suppose if you enter this item, okay, suppose if you enter quantity of 8,000, then what is the price? If you enter 8,000 quantity, then what is the price, team?
8.5.
For 8,000?
9.
9.
For 8,000, it is 9, sir. Okay. For 8,000, it is 9. And also you created one more purchase order. Okay, for the same item. And this time you created this PO for 21,000. Then what is the price?
9.
9.
So in
9.
case of non-cumulative, the price is 9. In case of cumulative, 8,000 plus 21,000. How much quantity?
8.5.
8.5.
29,000.
29,000.
8.5. Understood? Cumulative and non-cumulative. Okay. In case of price breakup functionality, whether you would like to go with the cumulative price or non-cumulative price. Okay. So this cumulative price, this is also calculated on the open purchase orders. Suppose, you created this purchase order, you have received the stock and you have invoiced, then it won't be cumulative. Okay. I'm talking about open purchase orders. The purchase orders which are not received and which are not invoiced, those get cumulated. Understood? Understood, team?
Yes.
Yes,
What is
sir.
it?
Yes,
What
sir.
is the today's strength, team? Did you see today's strength? Do you see the count? What is the count today?
26, sir.
26.
So if you exclude me, 25. And the 53 batch registrations are 53. 53 batch registrations are 53. And how many old students are attending? Nothing but you're not from 53 or from other batches. Anyone is attending? Ganesh, you are from
Myself.
52?
Myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And anyone else? That means how many? 24 members are attending. Out of 53, today I see 24 members. Not only today, daily, I'm seeing less than around 28 members only. Only 50% of the students are attending the live classes. Others are maybe watching the videos. Okay, so And this is not only for your batch, across every batches this is happening. Okay, this is price breakup type cumulative and non-cumulative functionality. Okay. And this is about that. And after that, in the next section, before I explain you this mega file size byte MB, okay. This functionality, this megabyte size functionality, before I explain you this, I should explain you purchase order communication. How you communicate your purchase order to your supplier. We create purchase order in our ERP application. In Oracle ERP, we create purchase order. How this purchase order is communicated to the supplier. How this is communicated. So we can send PO to the supplier through fax. Fax is one option. Okay. And other option is we can print and the PO that we created in our application, we can print and we can send to the supplier. And other option is email. In case of email, you can manually send nothing, but you can download the PO as a PDF copy. The PO that you created, you can download as a PDF copy and you can send an email manually. Manually, you can send email. And email can be sent automatically. Nothing but system will automatically trigger an email with the purchase order details. Or else there is something called electronic communication. Electronic communication. There is something called electronic communication. In case of electronic communication, we can send our purchase order to the supplier in the XML format. We can send our purchase order in the XML format or CXML format also. Okay, and if you send this in this format, supplier receives this format, and automatically supplier is going to process this format to process our format file to create sales order in their ERP. To create sales order in their ERP. Understood? It's called electronic communication because, you know, if you take Amazon, every individual is using Amazon and every corporate company is also using Amazon. Suppose if you're placing many orders to Amazon, manually creating orders in their system is, it's not possible. It's quite impossible task. That's why when you send this file, then automatically supplier systems receive that file and it will automatically pick up our format to create sales order in their ERP application. Okay, clear? Clear, team?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, this is also called as B2B communication. This is also called as B2B communication, nothing but business to business communication. Okay, in the business to business communication, we are sending purchase order to the supplier in the XML or CXML format, and supplier also can send us the invoice in the same format also. Nothing but we can exchange the documents. Nothing but we can send PO to the supplier and supplier can send the invoice to us. Like that, we can exchange the documents using the B2B communication. Coming to this B2B communication, it's a separate set of configurations. Okay, the configurations has to be handled in the configurations has to be done in two areas. One is in the application. One is in the application, and another one is in the B2B platform. Another one is B2B platform. So the configurations has to be done in two places. Okay. So application is nothing but our Fusion application. Okay. And the B2B platform is nothing, it's a separate platform. It's a separate platform where, our supplier should be registered and we should also be registered there. It's a free platform only. It's not a licensed platform. It's a free platform. Okay. Let me just show you the website of it. Oracle Business Network. This is the platform. Okay. So in this platform, you have to register and your supplier also should be registered in this platform. Okay. It's a free of cost. I have access to this platform because I worked on this electronic communication for one of the client. Okay. That's why I have access to this platform. So here, if I get inside, so here we are exchanging the purchase order document with nothing but we are communicating purchase order with one of the supplier called I know I'm recording it. Yeah, this is a supplier. You see here in the partners, we have to add our supplier as a partner. Okay. And here in the messaging area, we have to configure which document you want to exchange. Here we have to configure. So here we have to add the partners, and here in the messaging platform, we have to configure which document you want to exchange. Here, okay, couple of configurations are there for this functionality, but it's going to be too much for you. And if any requirement comes up, then I have uploaded the configuration document in our portal. Then you can explore this B2B communication functionality. Okay, configure your client instance according to that document. Okay, I don't want to cover because it's gonna be too much and not used by every project. Okay, clear, team?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is just a high-level introduction, but when any situation or any projects demand, then you can explore it. I think I've placed that document in the, let me cross check. Here I placed that document. The procurement folder. No, I think I didn't place the document. Okay, I'll place it here and I'll update you. Okay, team. I think maybe it's in the additional documents place. Let me cross check. No, not in additional documents. Is in presentations. No. Okay, I'll upload to the drive. Okay. Now I'm talking about all this story. It's because this field is there. Okay, to explain this field, I should explain you about the communication part. So this field is nothing but when the application is automatically sending an email to the supplier. If the application is automatically sending an email to the supplier, what should be the email size? What should be the email size? Generally, the email messaging platforms, I think the capacity that will allow is 25 MB, right? If it is more than 25 MB, you cannot send email directly. The documents or attachments, you have to send through Google Drive or some other platform, right? So maximum, I think email send limit size is 25 MB. Okay. And I want to control the maximum email size to be 20 MB only. So this is nothing but when the application is automatically sending an email, application is going to verify whether that email size, email body or email attachments is less than 20 MB or not. If it is less than 20 MB, then only our application will try to send an email to the supplier. Okay. Understood? Megabytes, MB. Understood, team?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I'm talking,
Wha-
for automatic email functionality, what configurations are required, we'll discuss in the next coming process. Okay.
So Krishna, except for the electronic communication,
Hmm.
remaining all cases, supplier has to enter all the details to create a sales order, right? In their ERP system.
Yeah. What if they're using their ERP, of course,
Okay.
they has to handle it manually.
Okay.
Sir, what is meant by sales order, sir?
Hi, Kiran.
Yes, sir.
What is meant by sales order?
Mhm.
Hmm. You are my customer, I'm your supplier. You understood
Okay.
this relationship?
Yeah, okay.
So for me, it's a sales order.
Okay, for me, it's a purchase order.
Yes,
Right.
that's it.
Okay.
That's it, right? So you
Yes,
don't have what
yes.
sales order?
Yeah, I know, but I need some, I need to listen from you. Exactly what is
Understood?
meant by sales order. Yeah, yes, sir.
Understood, no?
Yeah.
Okay, suppose in this, I don't want to explain more about it. Sales order, and it's normal definition, man. Okay. Next,
So that 20 MB is same for the EBS software also. I'm just asking generally. For EBS also they also has 20 MB limits or they can extend.
see, this is not the Oracle limit. Okay, it's platforms limit. Suppose
yeah.
if your supplier is using Gmail,
Right. I got it. I got it. So right.
Gmail,
That's 25 something.
yeah, Gmail, mail, I think sent limit is how much? Okay.
Attachments.
10 MB limit. See here, 25 MB. Okay, suppose the purchase order that you are sending to the supplier, okay, the system is sending, if it is more than 25 MB, it will fail.
Okay.
Your supplier may be using Gmail or your supplier may be using Yahoo or some other platforms. So those platforms limit is certain size,
Yeah.
certain MB only. That's how we are controlling here. Suppose if I enter 20 here, when the application is sending an email automatically to the supplier, application is going to verify the email size. If it is less than 20 MB only, then it will try to send. Otherwise, it will not send.
Got it. Thank you.
It's not Oracle limit. It's not Oracle EBS. It's not Oracle Fusion limit. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I'm almost explaining every checkbox and every field, right? Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And you have to practice in the similar
sir.
way. You have to practice in the similar way. I can also skip this field explanation and I can save 10 minutes time. I can save 10 minutes time, but I'm not doing that. Not only in this screen, in mostly in all the screens, I'm explaining almost 95% of the functionalities. 95% I'm explaining. And here also I didn't explain about this one and this one. They were not important. That's why I didn't. If I have to explain these unimportant also, it will take 5 months time, course duration. Okay. Because nowadays I'm not receiving much practice emails from the students. In the starting classes, I used to receive almost more than 15, 20 emails. Now I'm receiving maybe 7 to 8 emails only. Practice status emails. Just for 3 months. Just for 3 months or 4 months. You're not able to spend time for your entire career. For your entire career, you're not able to spend 4 months time. Okay.
Small
Next is,
question, sir.
uh,
So can we have some group in that
sir,
team?
you are not eligible, sir, to ask questions.
So this is about the practice questions, sir.
Practice questions at the end, sir.
Sorry, sir.
Practice question at the end, right?
Okay.
Practice questions are at the end. Receipt close tolerance percentage, to cover this functionality and also to cover this next functionality also, receipt close point. To cover both of these functionalities, I should explain you first of all the statuses of the PO. Header statuses and line statuses. Okay. In case of header statuses, the first status is incomplete. When you're creating a PO, the initial status is incomplete. And after submitting for the approval, the status is pending for approval. And after that, the status is open. Open is nothing but approved. Open is nothing but approved. After that, next status is closed for receiving. Closed for receiving. After that, next status is closed for invoicing. And final next status is closed. After you receive the stock, the status change it to closed for receiving. After you invoice, the status change it to closed, because you are done with the receiving activity, you are done with the invoicing activity. So nothing is pending. So the status change it to closed. So this is your header status. And this is also the line status is also nothing but, if your PO is having multiple lines, your PO is having multiple lines, line 1 and line 2, and the same statuses. Okay. It follows the same statuses only. Okay. But based on your lines, your header status will be changing. Suppose you processed only one line, the line 2, it's just approved, but it's not received and it's not invoiced. Then what is the header status? It is also like this only. Understood? I mean to say, when all the lines are based on your line statuses, the header status will be changing. When all the lines are closed, then your header is closed. So because here one line is closed, but what about the second line? Without receiving the second line, without invoicing the second line, do you close your header? Do you close your PO? No, right?
No.
Okay. So these are the statuses. Now coming to this functionality, receipt close tolerance functionality and receipt close point functionality. The status is clear. Any questions?
Clear, sir.
Okay. And coming to this receipt close point, suppose an example, in our transaction, you placed a purchase order to me. Okay, you placed a purchase order to me. Are you receiving anything physically from me? Physically, are you receiving anything from me?
No.
No.
So receiving is valid here. Do you receive anything physically to your?
No.
You don't
No.
receive. Okay,
No, sir.
especially in case of service, you don't receive. Okay, in that case, you can set this receipt close tolerance to 100%. You can set this to 100%, which means you're saying that please ignore the receiving. please ignore the receiving. So 100% you ignore the receiving. So 100% I don't receive the stock from the supplier. Full quantity I don't receive. Suppose if you enter 90%, this means 90% please ignore, 10% I receive from the supplier. 90% ignore, 10% I receive from the supplier. Okay, but this is not a regular scenario. So this is the regular scenario. In case of service POs, when you are not going to receive that PO, then you can set this receipt close tolerance percent to 100%. When it's sent to 100%, that particular PO or line, it won't wait for the receiving step. It won't wait. It will directly goes to the invoicing step. Clear?
Yes.
In case of receipt close point, accepted, received, accepted, delivered. Okay, this is nothing but first we receive the stock from the supplier. First we receive the stock from the supplier. Later we perform inspection. Okay, after inspection, we are gonna accept the stock. Okay, we accept the stock. I mean, we may accept or we may reject also. After that, we deliver to the sub inventory. We deliver to the sub inventory. Receive, accept, and deliver. 3 steps are there. Okay. So your line status, it has to be changed to closed for receiving after completion of which step? After completion of step number 1 or step number 2 or step number 3. So if you select here, receipt close point as delivered. Delivered, that means after completion of the step number 3, your PO line status changed to closed for receiving. Understood? So receipt close point. When you want to change your PO status to closed for receiving, you want to change after completion of the step number 1 or step number 2 or step number 3. I selected step number 3. After completion of the step number 3, nothing but after you deliver the stock to your sub inventory, then I want the line status to be changed to closed for receiving. Clear?
Krishna,
This is to, yeah, go ahead.
in the receipt close tolerance percentage, if I set 100%, that means indirectly I am saying the system to ignore the receiving.
Correct.
Right? What could be the receipt close point then?
This
If it
is,
is
I mean,
100%.
no relation between these two, madam. This is in
Okay.
case of receiving. Okay, when you are receiving, this is you don't want to receive. This is when you don't want to receive, and this is when you want to receive. When you receive it, this will happen. There are 2 types of POs are there, madam. One is non-receipt POs. For non-receipt POs, you can set it to 100%. For receipt POs, for receipt POs, when you want the status to be changed to closed for receiving, you want to change in the step number 1, step number 2, or step number 3. Got it?
Okay.
Understood?
So in our current example, if I set the tolerance percent to 100%, then what should be this receipt close point?
Then this is not valid.
Not
We
valid.
don't
Okay.
receive. We don't receive.
Okay.
So 2 types of POs. Okay, one is the receiving PO, and the one is non-receiving PO.
Okay.
So non-receiving PO is service POs.
Correct.
So receiving POs is you are buying some goods from the supplier.
Goods from the supplier. Yes.
Some goods you are purchasing from the supplier. In that case, you have a receiving step. When you have a receiving step, at what point of time we want to change the status to the closed for receiving?
Okay.
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 Understood, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Inventory and non-inventory POs, these are like.
Okay. And this is invoice close tolerance percent. This is same as receipt close tolerance percent. Suppose if you don't want to create invoice in the system, you set it to 100%. Nothing, your system will ignore your invoicing step. Okay. This is also, a rare situation. After getting the service or goods from the supplier, we have to invoice to make the payment to the supplier. Match approval, 2-way, 3-way, 4-way, match approval. Match approval, 2-way, 3-way, 4-way. This is also important in the question. Okay. So this actually we are following in our real regular life also. So if you go to any shop, okay, if you order after that the shop owner has given you the invoice, then you'll match the what you have ordered and what is been billed. You're gonna match manually, you're gonna match, and later you make the payment. Okay, that's called 2-way matching. In case of 3-way matching, you're matching what you ordered and what is received from the shop owner and what is billed by the shop owner. You're matching all the three and you're making the payment. Okay. In case of 4-way, you're matching what you have ordered and what is received, what is been accepted. Some quantity you rejected, some items you rejected. That should not be billed by the supplier. Okay, only the accepted quantity he has to bill. So you're matching here all these 4 things. Okay, so if you see 2-way, 3-way, 4-way, what is common here? Matching the PO with invoice is common, but in case of 3-way, so you're matching with the received quantity, and in case of 4-way, you're also matching with received quantity along with that accepted quantity. Okay, but in all these ways, in all these matching options, PO and invoice is common. Okay, what is your default matching criteria? What is your default matching criteria? Suppose every time if you're ordering for service POs, every time, then you select to 2-way. Okay, otherwise you set it to 3-way. See, whatever we are selecting here, that is defaulted to the PO. Whatever you are selecting here, that is defaulted to the PO. At the PO level, you can change. PO level, you want to change it to 2-way or 4-way, you can change. And same as receipt close tolerance percentage also. Same as invoice close tolerance percentage also. Whatever you are entering here, that is defaulted to the PO. At the PO level, you can change this. Okay. Clear?
Yes, Krishna.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, left hand side couple of check boxes are there. Right hand side couple of check boxes are there. First, I will explain you the important checkbox. Important. Okay. Important and easiest checkboxes I'll explain you. See this checkbox. Can you please read and understand this checkbox and let me know the meaning?
For automatically submitted orders, I mean, we are allowing the bypass.
For
I mean, bypass the approvals.
No need for approval.
Need to
Yeah,
approve.
correct. That's it. Correct, that's it. Okay. And can you please try to read and understand and assume about this? And you can explain me your assumptions. If it is wrong also, that's fine.
For already negotiated price, there is no need separate approvals for creating a PO.
This is actually okay. This I actually explained. I think I have explained how to create a requisition. Do you remember, right? At the
Yes,
time of creating a requisition.
yeah.
At the time of creating a requisition, yeah, you want to tell something?
No, sir.
At the time of creating a requisition, so there is a field called negotiated. Okay, if the negotiated is selected as by the requester, that means the requester is already spoke to the supplier and he negotiated everything with the supplier. So generally, what is the process? After creating the requisition, your buyer will talk to the supplier. Buyer is going to negotiate with the supplier. But when creating a requisition itself, your request is mentioning that I have already negotiated. I have already negotiated. So I want the PO to be automatically created. At the time of creating a requisition, there is a field called negotiated. If I select that field as yes, that means I have already negotiated with the supplier. So for the negotiated requisitions, I want the orders to be created automatically. Clear? You want me to repeat?
Yes,
You want me to repeat? Is it clear?
yes.
Clear, sir.
Clear.
Clear, sir.
Next, this is also when you're at the time of creating a requisition. At the time of creating a requisition, the requester is going to enter the requested date. Okay, I'm creating a requisition. I'll enter the requested date as I want the product by this month end, 31st July. Okay, suppose this checkbox is enabled, my requested date in the requisition will become the promised date in the purchase order. In the purchase order, there is something called promised date. So requester entered requested date will be defaulted as a promised date in the purchase order. So now you read this default promised date from the requested date. So where we enter the requested date, we enter in the requisition. So that will be default as a promised date in the PV. Okay. Now, okay, we'll discuss the remaining check boxes also. Okay. So these two check boxes are related to change order functionality. First of all, what is meant by change order? First of all, what is meant by change order? The change order is nothing but on the approved PO, if you're updating it, updating the approved purchase order. That's called as a change order. That's called as a change order. And in case of change order, the change order can be initiated, you can initiate it manually. You can initiate manually. You can initiate using the video also. Nothing but you can perform changes to the approved PO by using the FVDI. And you can also use the REST API or SOAP UIs. This is technical approach. This is technical approach. So in which cases we go with these two options when you have to update some purchase orders in bulk. So manually means suppose if it is 1 or 2 or maybe less than 5 or less than 10, you can update manually the POs. But if it is more than 1,000, more than 10,000, in that case, you go with the bulk method, right? In case of bulk method, FBD is one approach and REST API is also another approach. Another approach. Sir, can you tell me some example for the change order? Suppose an example, in the purchase order, you will mention the delivery location. You will mention the delivery location. Delivery location in the sense to which location the product has to be delivered. Okay. And that company location, you are closing temporarily. Or maybe that location is closed. You shifted to new location, that location is closed. And on the old location, there are already 50,000 POs has been created, or maybe 20,000 POs has been created. So what you have to do for the 20,000 POs, you have to update the old delivery location to the new delivery location, correct?
Yes.
Understood the example?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. In that case, you have to go with the bulk approach. You have to go with the bulk approach. So when you go with the bulk approach, the changes that you made to the purchase order, you want to communicate to the supplier. No, I don't want to communicate because I have already communicated to my supplier that saying my old location I closed. So I shifted to new location. Okay, so the PO need not to be communicated to the supplier if I modify it. So it will work only in case of bulk changes only. So in case if you update PO manually, it will communicate to the supplier. So this checkbox only in case of, I think it's not for FPD also. This checkbox only for this functionality, only for REST API. This is applicable only with the REST API. So in these two cases, nothing but when you update your purchase order or when you update your purchase agreement, using this REST API option, you want a communication to be sent to the supplier or not? I don't want. I don't want. Because I have offline, I have communicated to my supplier. I don't want the Oracle system to communicate to the supplier on these changes. That too, what type, when you perform change in which method using this REST API method. Understood, team?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, this is only for the, as I mentioned, REST API and SOAP only. Okay. So if you perform changes using manual method and FPD method, it will communicate. It will communicate. Okay. But using this method, when you are using this method, you want the changes to be communicated to the supplier or not. If this is selected, it will communicate. If this is disabled, it will not. Okay. Good. First of all, here you should understand what is meant by change order. And later you have to understand how you can perform change order and what are the methods are there. In case of manual, of course, the changes will be communicated to the supplier. In case of FBD also, the changes will be communicated to the supplier. In case of REST API and SOAP UI, you want to communicate or not depends upon these checkboxes. Clear? This is for the purchase order. This is for the agreement. See, every checkbox is having this much concept behind it. That's why these checkboxes are important. Okay, this will drive the purchasing model functionality. Enforce supplier on hold. Enforce a supplier on hold. Okay, to cover this functionality, first of all, I have to explain you ASL functionality. ASL. ASL is nothing but approved supplier list. So, sir, what is this ASL? Okay, in the ASL, we maintain the repository of the approved suppliers for our items. Okay. So item A, you purchase from which supplier? Supplier A. Okay. And item B, we purchase this item from a supplier called supplier B. Okay. It's a repository of the approved suppliers for our items. Suppose you are the buyer. You joined a company today. Okay. And you want to buy this item. What you can do, you can simply go to the screen and you can search with this item. You can see who is the approved supplier for this item. You can see it's a repository of all the approved suppliers in the system. So you joined today and you don't know this product has to be purchased from which supplier. You can simply go to the screen, you can enter the item and you can search and you can see the approved supplier for that item. Okay, understood? And also here again is the supplier. There is statuses also there. There is something called statuses. Okay, so approved status is there and debug is also there. Debug is also there and you can keep the supplier in hold also. you can keep that supplier. So approved is nothing but, the supplier is okay. You can go and create a PO with the supplier. Debarred is nothing but no more PO creation is allowed. And hold is nothing but temporarily we are holding that supplier. Okay. Suppose if for any supplier which is on hold, if you try to create a purchase order, if you try to create a PO, the application will throw error. The application will throw error because this checkbox is enabled. If any supplier is on hold, if you create a PO to that supplier, if you submit that PO for the approval, application will throw error because your supplier is on hold. Clear? Okay. Now, this checkbox is related to the functionality called retroactive price update. Yes, it will do. Okay, we'll discuss this functionality tomorrow. And anyway, tomorrow I need another 30 minutes time to complete the remaining checkboxes. And also, I have to explain you another section called document types also. So including explaining this section also, it will take 30 minutes time for me tomorrow. So this procurement business function options I'll continue tomorrow. Okay. So today If you're having any confusion, I request you to please watch the video again, the session video, and please send me the explanation for every checkbox, every field. Okay, what you understood. From my explanation, what you understood about each and every field, please send me the email. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I would like to verify your practice status. I think I did not receive any practice status emails, it seems like. No? How many of you completed with the practice status of the costing? I know Shishir. Shishir, you completed, and who else?
I have completed, sir. I've sent it yesterday.
Okay, Navina and costing module practice completely. Who completed? And yesterday I have asked you to send me the explanation for every field on the requisition business function options, right? Do you remember it? On the requisition business function options, how many sections are there?
3.
Three sections are there. Okay, I asked you to send me the explanation for all the 3 sections. I didn't receive a single email also.
Sir, I have sent it long back.
Even I have also sent, sir.
Krishna, I have sent
Last
on
week.
the day when we completed last week.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir, same.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Srinivas, you're asking something. Tell me, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, so this practice is getting lagging behind. So I thought of in the team we have any volunteers, we can create a group and practice, because I know if you ask the questions, it will be silly to everyone.
No problem, sir. You can ask. No problem, sir. In the same group, you can ask silly questions also. No problem.
Sure,
Okay.
sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Because for every batch, I can't create separate groups, and then later I cannot merge into the main groups. That's not possible, sir, due to some challenges from our side. Okay. So if it is a silly question also, you can ask in the main group itself. Why don't you utilize my time, sir? Why don't you utilize my time? You can ask me, right? You see yesterday's session completely Q&A only. Yesterday's session.
Yes, sir.
At the end of the session or before the section, you ask me, or you want me to connect 10 minutes before the session? Tell me. Every day I'll connect 10 minutes before the session for you.
Yeah.
If you're ready to practice, I'll connect, sir. Tell me.
Yeah, definitely, sir. I'm practicing, sir. Okay.
Team,
Yeah,
if you want me to connect 10 minutes early to the session, I'll connect every day. I'm okay. As far as you're practicing, I'm okay. And even, in previous batches, I conducted separate practice sessions also. Separate practice sessions. For the first 1 week and 2 weeks, people are attending, but later on, nobody is attending. I'm unnecessarily paying salary to that lab faculty. That's why I stopped that classes. For the 49th batch only, I tried this. Every day, evening, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, I don't remember exact time. I conducted practice sessions also. That's also not worked. Okay, Srinivas, don't look for the, all these things. I
Yes.
want your practice. Okay, so you want me to help in which way, you let me know. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Yeah.
If you want me to connect personally, before the session 10 minutes, I can connect. Okay.
Yeah. Thank
And you
sir.
can put your questions in the email also. If you have anything, put the questions in the email. Sometimes I'll reply the questions in the email also immediately.
Sure, sir. Definitely, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, team. That's all from my side for today. I'll see you tomorrow. And the screen is very, very important. Lot of controls are there in these two screens. Requisition business function options, procurement business function options. Lot of controls are there. Okay. You should know the importance of significance of every checkbox. Okay. So prepare and send me a document. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, sir.